Hey, I'm Eric, one of the co-founders of Heylo, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of how I use Heylo to help actually lead a group for community leaders. So what you're seeing on the screen here is my computer screen. Heylo's available on a mobile app, on mobile browser, and on desktop web. So you can use Heylo from anywhere. That means your members can too. And so I'm on my computer, so that's kind of the view that you'll see here, but keep in mind that everything you do here can be done on these other platforms too. Now, what's important to note with Heylo is that as a leader, you get your own dedicated space. So my group here is called Leaders, and this is just a space for people that I've invited or have actually come in to join the space and interact with the community here. And what I'm going to do is walk through a few different ways that we use Heylo to help build our community and bring leaders together. So first, I'm going to share a little bit about topics. Topics are essentially conversations or chats that are organized into themes. We have one here called leadership tips, for example. And this is a great way to take that like big messy conversation that's happening in a big group chat or maybe over an email thread and start to get it a little bit organized for you. And that benefits you as a leader, so nothing feels too overwhelming, but also for your members because they can come in and join the topics that are interesting for them. And they can see the ones that they have not joined, but they're not going to get all the push notifications and annoyances that come up throughout the day. So it's really a nice way for them to participate in the things that are the best fit for them. Now, what's really important as a leader is you have a dedicated space to make announcements. And what announcements, they're always pinned to the top of the topics tab. Everyone is joined to them automatically. And they're also integrated with email. So you can send communication here and just like you would with a message and press send, and you'll have the prompt to be able to send this in-app and email too. And that will go out to everybody. It will even reach people that you've invited to your group by email but have not yet joined yet. You can communicate with everybody pretty seamlessly. Amazing. Let's move on to events. Now, events here on Heylo are a really powerful way to start to bring people together in real time. You see, we have actually an upcoming event that's happening in our leaders group here around creating new chapters. And there's a lot of power in what you can do with events. The first and most common thing is every event has its own dedicated chat. So people who are attending, they can start to communicate with each other, with other attendees, without feeling like they're going to disrupt the entire community if they're trying to coordinate a ride or running a few minutes late or sharing photos after. What events also have is the ability not just to have kind of the basic information integrated with maps and calendar that you can click and add to your calendar right away, but it also has a lot of tools for leaders to help organize. The first is starting with attendance. So I can click this attendance button and actually check in people who are coming, and we can start to actually track how people are participating with the group. Or if I want to start to promote this maybe on socials, I can get an automatically generated flyer in different formats that allows me to easily post it into Instagram or Facebook or wherever I'm helping market to potential new members. So there's a lot of power with events, and the nice part is now you have your whole calendar organized here. You can see this in a calendar view as well, and it's really easy for everyone to see what's happening and coming up with the group. Third is this members tab. This is essentially a member directory, but in real time with beautiful profile photos that people care a lot about. And it's all searchable. So what you'll see here is all of our different attendees in different ways. So for example, we can see top attendees who have participated in the group this month. I can look at this by all time as well if I wanted to. And if I click on a specific attendee, I can get to know a little bit about them. They add a little bit of bio, they either link to a profile or a LinkedIn account. They can have multiple photos. I can see how many events they've attended, and I can also see the groups that they're into. And this is a really fun way for me to start to get to know people. I can also, as a leader, organize my members into different categories. So by default, every group has an admin category, but we can also have different roles. We have a role here called council, which allows for people to host events in the community. Roles are a really powerful way to start to organize either your leadership team or people you want to celebrate or have just folks be recognized for their achievements, because roles get prioritized here on the members list. And if you were to click on someone's profile, you'll be able to see the role here as well. Fourth is benefits. What are the attributes and things that really help members that you're able to offer them, you can start to list all of your benefits here. We have a few resources linked here around for leaders around how Heylo works, or we put together some articles around inspiration that other leaders have learned. But a really powerful way to start to organize different benefits. You can actually add discount codes or shops or things that you want to provide or sell to your membership base. And you have just one consolidated place for people to do it. Every one of these gets a link, so they're really easy to share. And then lastly, on the group tab, this is kind of my space to make sure that I keep everything organized. So as an admin, I have all of my admin settings where I can customize things, collect payments, make sure that my permissions are correct, or integrate with MailChimp or an email newsletter, or collect a waiver perhaps. And as a member, I can control a bit about my own group, like updating my profile or leaving feedback for the leaders in case I wanted to provide some helpful feedback or just some recognition on how great people are doing. So there's a lot more that you could do with Heylo, but I wanted to provide a quick overview at how we use it for our leaders group. If you have any questions, please get in touch with us either in support chat or over email. We would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for leading the community. It means the world to us and the people who participate.